Hi guys, my name is Catherine and welcome back to my channel. So for the month of October, I'm going to be doing a Halloween series of vlogs. So to kickstart that series, today I'm going to be doing a Halloween Q&A. I haven't looked at these questions at all. So I wanted all my answers to be completely kind of authentic and spur of the moment. I didn't want to have it kind of pre-rehearsed. So I haven't looked at any of these questions. All I know is that there's about 30 of them and I'll be giving my honest answers as best as I can. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to take these as two different things. So I'm going to do, one is my favourite Halloween song and I'm going to do my favourite theme tune from horror film. So my favourite Halloween song, I suppose it has to be This Is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas because I love Disney, I love the song and I love dancing around and putting on all the voices. My favourite Halloween soundtrack song or theme tune though, I really like Tubular Bells from The Exorcist. So I think that's by Mike Oldfield. So yeah, I really like that. Yeah, I think that has to be them. Anything? I think if I was going into a dark forest or an abandoned building, I would just like everything to stay away from me. Any type of ghosts, anything that's not real. So I always say I love Halloween and I love scary stuff, but I like scary stuff that isn't real. So if it's people in masks or anything like that, that's cool. Like, you know, you hear the Scare Factory and all that, that's fine. But when it comes to actual real ghosts, no thank you, stay dead. No, never. That's another thing that's real. Well, I think is real and it can go very far away. Because no, I just don't like the idea of it, because it's like, for people who say, oh, it's just a toy, it's like, fine, then I don't really have any interest in playing with it. But if it's real, I definitely don't have any interest in playing with it. So yeah, no. No. Kind of like Freddy Kruger, as in like, I like the whole concept of that film that like it's a dream but it's reality, and I like how he kind of uses the dream world to come into the real world. So I suppose that makes him a bit of a badass. So I'm gonna go with Freddy Krueger. Okay, right. So one time I was at my ex-boyfriend's house completely alone. He was at work, his parents were gone out for the day, and yeah, I was completely on my own. Now, he told me stories in the past that his house was haunted because it was a very like old kind of family house and it had been passed down from generation to generation. So he told me that it was haunted. So I kind of believed him, didn't believe him, but I was like, it's fine as long as I don't see or feel anything, that's fine. So the one day I was completely alone and I was sitting in his kitchen. And they had like a washroom where like the radio was always on. So the radio station that they always had on was West Limerick 102, and it was down at like a relatively kind of low to medium volume. That was fine. I was up in the kitchen. The next thing, it switched to Spin Southwest and blasted the volume through the roof, and I just started freaking out. Yeah, I like went out and I was like, okay, this is really freaky. So at that point, I thought, okay, maybe it's, my boyfriend is after coming home. So I popped my head out the door to kind of see, had he kind of come in yet? And at that point, I saw his car drive past the window, as in he was only just coming home then. So until that point, there was nobody in the house. And he came in, I told him the story, and when we went back out again, it had switched back to West Limerick 102 and the volume was down really low. No. For someone who likes Halloween, I'm really like such a scaredy cat. No, I wouldn't, because again, I don't like real things. The dead can stay dead and away from me. Yeah, magpies is probably my biggest one. If I see a magpie, I'll constantly wave at it. So if you ever see me in public, I'll probably be trying to do it really subtly, so I might be just like this, or like if I'm walking along I might just like be doing things like this, but I'm actually secretly waving at the magpie. I don't like walking under ladders. I don't like odd numbers, so like if I'm listening to the radio or anything like that, I always try and keep it on an even number. Oh, and Friday the 13th, I just don't like. like most people are just like, it's just a day, but I'm just like, no, everything goes bad on Friday the 13th, so no. I don't anymore, but I used to. So when I was around maybe 4 or 5, we always had this thing at home where we had this one kitchen window, and me and my sister, we both used to see this nun walking past the window. As we kind of grew older, we kind of convinced ourselves it was just like, you know, our eyelashes or something that we were just kind of seeing like out the corner of our eye. But, you know, we were convinced that there was this nun just going past the window, because it was like this black figure with like, it was like black, then like a bit of white, and then just like, yeah, like a skin colour face. But like it was so fast, like it would just be like, whoa. And actually when I was younger as well, I was at my friend's house and we were playing a video game like earlier on in the day, like it was kind of a cops and robbers game. That night we swore we saw the robber. It was like a stereotypical robber with like, you know, the black and white like striped uniform and then like the black and white striped hat, and we swore we saw him walk past the front door as well, to the point where we ran in crying and made her dad go out in the middle of the night and check out the whole house to make sure that there was no one there. But other than that, no, I don't see figures at my peripheral vision. Okay, so I don't know any urban legends. I probably do, but I can't think of any right now. So I'm going to say a real story that scares me the most. Big shout out to Mom. Hi Mom. This story scares the hell out of me. When she was little, she was in bed one night and she woke up in the middle of the night and she said there was this old woman stood at the foot of her bed. She said she froze in terror and this woman was just staring at her. She didn't recognise her, she didn't know who she was, and as she looked at her, the old woman just started coming up towards her in the bed. Now, as she describes it, she didn't walk up, she glided up. She said that she just went underneath the covers and like just hid, closed her eyes, and she said she was just in cold sweats. That story terrifies me, and because I think she showed me it when I was young, and again because it's real, I just like, no, I don't want to think of that while I'm sleeping. So don't watch this video while you're in bed. Thrillers. Gore is fine, like I don't mind it, but I just get a bit grossed out at times. But thrillers, I like that because I love that edge of your seat kind of feeling where you don't know what's going to happen next. So that's really exciting. So yeah, I'm going to say thriller. I believe that every time you get deja vu, that it's for that split second you're slipping into a multiple dimension where what you're actually seeing has happened to you yourself before, but in a different time. I feel like when I was a child, and I don't know where I'm getting this memory from, or maybe it was an alternate universe, I feel like I had a type of kit that had like different types of sugar and syrups and stuff, and that you kind of poured them all in and mixed them up and actually made like a potion. And I feel like that was the purpose, but I can't vividly remember enough to say yes, that was it. Other than that, probably just making mud pies underneath my cousin's tree and trying to feed it to my baby born. Yeah, I think the amount, like I definitely 3 times a day, it's Jack, because something's happened. So spiders, gone. Jack walks into a room and I don't hear him and I turn around, I like jump, scream, that's it, give out to him because he's just terrified me. Sometimes shadows scare me. Don't really like the dark. I don't like lying in bed and seeing, like I prefer the pitch black to there being a little bit of light where you see all the silhouettes. Don't like that. Yes, I scare easily. Nope. 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 I do, like, I believe in God, so I believe there has to be something kind of counteractive to that. But at the same time, I think more like demons and the devil, I feel like they are more in the real world than in the afterlife, because I feel like that's just what all the bad stuff is in the world, is just pure evil, and it has, like, it comes from somewhere. But that's a different topic of discussion. Probably get that feeling where I have no legs, and then whatever room I'm in, lock the door and probably call Jack and cry and say wherever he is, he needs to come home now because something's happening, just for him to find out that the heating was just turned on, it's actually the wood creaking in the front. These scary movies, because they're funny, but not to be one of the people who gets their head chopped off. I have like a little skeleton one that's just like across the top, it's strapless, and then it has like a little rib cage on, and then it has a little black tutu, and then I wear that with just black tights with little bone legs on, with little feet. So I think that is cute. Yeah, but sure, I bring someone. I don't know much about zombies, but Jack apparently does, and he says you need to get to the brains and chop their head off, so I suppose a big machete. It's sad because I would say a Halloween party, but I've never been trick-or-treating because I was never allowed. I was always told it was begging, so I was never allowed to go. My friend took me once when I was 18, but just wasn't the same because we only went to people that knew her and she knew would give us sweets, even though we were like 18 years of age. But no, I can't give an honest opinion on that because I never went, but I like Halloween parties, so we'll go with that. Oh, I'm probably the skeptic because I get like super paranoid about everything. So I'd probably just be thinking that everyone was out to get me and that everyone around me was the killer, even though they probably weren't. So either that or then I'd end up getting so paranoid I'd become the killer. It depends. Like if I was on my own, then well, I wouldn't be watching a horror film on my own anyway. But if I was just with friends or something, then maybe. But usually I just kind of have a cuddle or something. So that'd be the best option. I wouldn't fall asleep, but I would say I'm definitely both of the first two. Like if someone ran up the stairs instead of running out the front door, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you going upstairs? There's no way out from upstairs, and now he's gonna run out after you, you stupid person. But then I watch horror movies like this because I have it in my head that then if something scary comes, I can just quickly do that. It's a lot quicker than actually going like this. And it's also easier because there was one time I was playing Slenderman and I got so scared I actually went to cover my eyes there and then, but ended up punching myself in the face and I gave myself a black eye. Definitely the one that gets scared. Hocus Pocus or the Halloween Towns. I love like kiddie kind of Halloween films a lot more than like horror Halloween films, even though I like the horror ones too, but I just have to watch them with somebody, and I don't know anybody that actually will watch a horror with me. So my sister watches them with me, but I don't see her very often. Hi, Trista. I was about 9 because one of my friends at the time, she had a rental video. It was The Ring, and she decided to put it in a kiddies video case and say that she had a kiddies video that we were going to watch, and I was like, yay, yay, yay. And it was The Ring, and I was traumatized and I couldn't sleep for weeks, and now I have this fear of mirrors, especially mirrors, or like being in front of TV screens when they're off and stuff, like while I sleep, because I'm just terrified that your one's going to crawl out. Probably the same as every other Irish kid, and that is a bin bag with ours and whatever mask was available at the time. Yeah, so I'm still kind of planning it, but what I'm hoping, if it all works out, is gonna go as Catwoman. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of doing Halloween costumes that aren't scary, but Jack loves superheroes, and I went as scary last year. I try and alternate between like scary and then just regular. So last year I went as like a haunted kind of skeleton. So this year I'm going to try and go as Catwoman, and if Jack can get a Batman costume, we can do like a couple's Halloween costume. Probably a black kitten, but I'm allergic to cats, so, or a black puppy. But I'd probably call it like a Midnight or Mystic. Mystic's cute. Thanks so much to everybody for watching. If you click on the thumbs up, you can give me a like. If you click on the red button below, you can subscribe to me. By subscribing, you'll get notifications for the most popular videos that I create. Or if you click on the bell, you can click on the all, and that will send you notifications every time I post. If you want some music to get you in the mood for this spooky season, you can head over to my personal Spotify, so it's Catherine Hughes, and I have a playlist called This Is Halloween and a little pumpkin emoji. So I'm going to put the link to that in the description down below. You can click on that, and if you want to follow the playlist, it has a range of different songs, going from songs from kids' Halloween movies, some movie soundtracks, some theme tunes, just all different types of songs. Also, I'm going to be running a Halloween giveaway on my Instagram. So to be in with a chance to win that, you can head over to my Instagram. It's Eat, Love, Relax Vlog, and you have to be following me to be in with a chance to win. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to keep an eye on this channel as there'll be loads more Halloween videos to come. Bye!